Emma never believed that life could change in a single moment, yet that was exactly what happened the night her long relationship ended. For 5 years, she had built dreams with someone she believed would stay forever. They had talked about future homes, travels, and quiet evenings growing old together. But one rainy evening, those promises disappeared with a few cold words and a closed door. The breakup left Emma feeling lost and exhausted. Her apartment suddenly felt too quiet, and the memories in every corner made it difficult to breathe. Friends told her time would heal everything, but time felt slow and heavy. She tried focusing on work, reading books, and meeting friends, yet the emptiness remained. One night, while scrolling through social media, Emma saw an unusual post from a travel group she followed. It was about spontaneous decisions and how sometimes people needed bold changes to move forward. Something about those words sparked an idea in her mind, something impulsive, perhaps even a little reckless. The next morning she packed a small suitcase and traveled to a nearby city known for its beautiful old courthouse where people sometimes held simple, quick weddings. She didn't fully understand why she went there. Maybe she just wanted to prove to herself that life could start again in an unexpected way. Inside the courthouse, couples stood in line holding flowers and smiling nervously. Emma watched them, feeling both curious and out of place. She almost turned around to leave when a calm voice spoke beside her. "Are you here for the same reason as everyone else?" the man asked politely. Emma turned and saw a tall man wearing a simple dark suit. His expression was warm but thoughtful, like someone who carefully observed the world around him. "Honestly," Emma said with a small laugh, "I'm not even sure why I'm here." The man nodded as if he understood perfectly. "Sometimes people come here when life surprises them," he said. "My name is Daniel." "Emma," she replied. They talked while sitting on a wooden bench near the window. Daniel had a calm, steady way of speaking that made Emma feel strangely comfortable. He asked about her hobbies, her favorite places, and what kind of future she once imagined. Emma admitted she had recently ended a long relationship and didn't know what direction her life should take next. Daniel listened quietly. "Starting over can feel frightening," he said gently. "But sometimes a new chapter appears when we least expect it." They both laughed when Emma joked about the strange idea that had brought her to the courthouse. "Imagine healing from heartbreak by marrying a stranger," she said. "It sounds like the plot of a dramatic movie." Daniel smiled thoughtfully. "Maybe not such a terrible idea," he replied. "Two people helping each other start fresh." Emma stared at him, unsure whether he was joking. Yet his calm expression suggested he was completely serious. "What if," Daniel continued carefully, "we tried something unusual? A simple agreement. Two strangers choosing to support each other while rebuilding their lives." Emma felt shocked by the suggestion, but at the same time there was something comforting about the idea. Daniel didn't seem reckless or irresponsible. In fact, he seemed calm, kind, and sincere. They talked for nearly 2 hours, discussing expectations and boundaries. Daniel promised honesty and respect, while Emma promised to approach the decision with patience and openness. Finally, with a mixture of curiosity and courage, they walked toward the courthouse desk. The ceremony was simple. A small group of witnesses, a few quiet words from the officiant, and suddenly Emma found herself married to a man she had met only hours earlier. After the ceremony, Daniel turned to her with a reassuring smile. "I know this feels sudden," he said, "but I promise I'll do everything I can to make sure this decision becomes something positive for both of us." Emma expected they would go their separate ways for the evening, but Daniel invited her to dinner at a quiet restaurant nearby. As they talked over warm food and soft music, Emma realized Daniel was thoughtful, intelligent, and surprisingly humble. He asked questions about her dreams and encouraged her to speak freely. When dinner ended, Daniel called a car to take them home. Emma assumed they were heading to a small apartment, but the vehicle stopped in front of a large modern building overlooking the city lights. She stared at Daniel in confusion. "You live here?" she asked. Daniel nodded calmly. Inside, the apartment was spacious and beautifully designed, with tall windows showing the skyline. Emma felt nervous stepping into such an elegant place. "I should probably explain something," Daniel said. He hesitated for a moment before continuing. "I run a company," he said simply. "I'm the CEO." Emma blinked in surprise. "You're serious?" she asked. Daniel nodded. I didn't mention it earlier because I didn't want it to influence your decision. Emma laughed softly in disbelief. So I impulsively married a stranger who happens to be a CEO? Apparently, Daniel said with a small smile. Over the next few days, Emma slowly adjusted to her unusual new life. Daniel remained respectful and patient, never pressuring her to change or behave differently. He encouraged her to pursue her interests and even helped her enroll in design courses she had once dreamed about taking. Emma noticed that despite his success, Daniel remained kind to everyone around him, from the building staff to the people he worked with at the office. One evening, he surprised her with tickets to an art exhibition she had casually mentioned weeks earlier. You remembered? She asked, amazed. Of course, Daniel replied. Small things matter. Emma began realizing that Daniel wasn't just generous with gifts. He was generous with time, attention, and encouragement. Months passed, and their unusual marriage slowly transformed into something deeper. They shared morning coffee while watching the sunrise, long walks through quiet parks, and thoughtful conversations late at night. Emma found herself smiling more often than she had in years. One evening, while they stood on the balcony watching the city lights shimmer below, Emma spoke honestly. When we first met, I thought this marriage was just a strange way to escape heartbreak, she said. Daniel listened quietly. But now, Emma continued, I feel like I've discovered something unexpected. What's that? Daniel asked gently. A partner who actually cares about my happiness. Daniel looked at her with a soft smile. I believe happiness grows when two people support each other, he said. Emma realized that the bold decision she once considered reckless had led her somewhere wonderful. Her past heartbreak no longer felt like a painful ending. Instead, it had become the turning point that brought her to a new beginning. Sometimes life didn't follow careful plans. Sometimes it surprised people with unexpected paths and unusual choices. For Emma, healing didn't come from hiding from the past. It came from stepping forward into the unknown with courage. And in that unknown moment, she found Daniel, a stranger who became her greatest support, her closest friend, and the unexpected love that changed her life forever.